A Virginia school board has decided against a policy that would have forced homeschooling parents and students justify their religious beliefs. The Goochland County Public School Board voted Tuesday night after hundreds of angry parents showed up at a school board meeting to voice concerns. The policy would have required all homeschooled children ages 14 and up to provide a statement about their religious beliefs. Although the county reversed their policy, the school board still maintains the right to demand a hearing with homeschooling families. Joining us now with more on this is Scott Woodruff. He is Senior Counsel for the Homeschool Legal Defense Association. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
First of all, tell us about this policy in Goochland, Virginia, and why the school board finally decided against it.
First, let me clarify one thing, that this policy would only have applied to students under the religious exemption option for homeschooling. The other main option for homeschooling is called the notice of intent option, and this would not have affected those students.
Okay. Now, why do you think the school board finally decided against it?
I think the school board initially adopted the policy, perhaps without clearly thinking through the impact, perhaps without considering alternative points of views, and I frankly think they just didn't think it through completely all the way to the end. But when about 250 plus parents showed up and eloquently and passionately expressed their concerns, the school board reconsidered and made a wise decision to repeal that policy.
Okay, now while the policy was repealed, the school board did reserve the right to have parents submit to a hearing. What does that mean for families?
We're honestly not too super concerned about a school board reserving the right to have a hearing for the adult parents. They're mature, they can stand on their own 2 feet spiritually. The worst part of this policy was that the board reserved the right to call in the kids, the 14, the 15-year-olds, to call them in before a hearing before the board and question them about their faith, and that was unacceptable.
Okay. Now, would you say all of this is just the latest attempt to restrict homeschooling in the U.S.?
Virginia has an excellent religious exemption statute that is a tremendous bulwark for freedom and religious liberty, and it is a constant lightning rod for criticism by the radical secular folks because they hate the fact that people who are strongly faith-oriented can be exempted from attending public schools. So while the statute stands strong, ready to protect us, it always has its opponents.
Okay, now many parents who do homeschool their children say they do it for religious reasons. They feel it's a right that should be protected and not infringed upon by the government. What are your thoughts about that?
Sure. Well, Virginia does an excellent job of protecting the right to homeschool. There is a statute that can apply to anyone regardless of their faith. That's the notice of intent statute. And then there's the religious exemption statute that gives a family where the parents have objections, religious objections, to sending their kids to public school, a right to be exempted from school attendance. And that's an excellent protection for religious freedom.
That's good. Scott Woodruff, thank you so much for your time and your insights today.
You're so welcome.